And with us this evening is the former Newcastle and Norwich goalkeeper Tim Krul. Good evening.
Thank you.
Saw that aerial shot just a moment or so ago of St James's as dusk gathered under the lights up there. Must have been one of the great occasions to be part of.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, St James's, I think if you speak to many players, not just the home players, but the away players, it's the stadium to play at, and especially like you say on a nighttime game. They've had some great games the last few weeks in the Champions League, and another big one tonight.
We will talk about that game very shortly. For the moment, though, let's focus on Liverpool, who ended a run of 4 straight defeats with a much-needed 2-0 win at West Ham at the weekend to relieve some of the pressure on head coach Arne Slot, who made the decision to drop Mo Salah for that game. He sat down with Juliet Ferrington to discuss that decision, as well as the importance of a win at West Ham.
Arne, has there been a little bit more belief and confidence instilled in the team since the win at the weekend?
No, it's not the first time we've won this season, as you probably know. But it was important for us to start winning again, because if you lose a few times in a row, then the first and most important thing is start winning again and not the performance. And that's what we did.
What was the dressing room like after the win at West Ham?
Not buzzing. There was happiness, but also already focus on Wednesday, because we knew we had to play 3 games in 7 days, and the outcome after those 3 games is probably more important than after 1 game. But if Bowen scores that goal, I think we would have been criticised a lot again. And now probably people said, I don't know, but it was a controlled performance. I don't know which words people use, but the score has so much impact on what people think about the game, and I think it's my job. Although I know people judge me on results, but it's my job to also look through those results. And where last season I wasn't always happy about the performance, but we won, and then I was maybe a bit more negative than pundits were. Or maybe probably now I'm a bit more positive than some people are.
You made the decision over Mo because it's Mo Salah. You know the reaction it's going to provoke and get for doing that. But also, is it something that you had to think long and hard about doing?
Deservingly so. That it is something everybody's looking at what's happening here, because for so many years he's been so influential for this club, and even last year when I was here he's been so important for the club and for me. So it's normal if he then doesn't play that people talk about that. And in every lineup I make a lot of thoughts go in, not particularly when Mo is playing or when he's not playing. Every time you have to make a lineup, you watch a lot of videos from the other team, and then you decide on what's best for our team. And I think I've said many times, we are playing again 3 games in 7 days. We hardly had to do that last season, but I think it's going to be the 3rd time now this season we have to do so. And that is that's a lot. So we need all the players. Tomorrow evening again, I would be surprised if the ones I start will make all of them 90 minutes, because on Saturday we have to play again. So yeah, it's as always a lot of thoughts go in, and not more or less when it's about Mo or it's about Florian or it's about Alex or it's about all the other ones I get a lot of questions about.
And how about you? How are you? Because it's been intense, hasn't it? Opinion's been intense, punditry's been intense, media has been intense, journalists have been intense, and results have been intense. But the negativity of that intensity, yet you've managed to just stay level-headed, calm.
Yeah.
What we've seen since you've been at Liverpool.
Yeah. Now that it's been intense, I know, but and that it will probably be negative, I expect, and that's completely normal after such a poor run of form. But it's not that every Monday evening or Sunday I'm watching television, see what everybody's saying about me. I'm so focused on improving the team. So I know no one will be positive at this time, except for our fans. Although maybe online they will be a bit different, but I can only feel the support I get throughout the game, and that has been till now very positive. So I don't know what people are saying, but I'm aware of the fact that it must be negative because there will be no manager in the world, but people are positive about it if he loses so many games. I've seen it happening so many times with other managers, so it would be a surprise if it doesn't happen to me. But I don't know what people are exactly saying. I can only know what I think about our performances and what people around me think about our performance, what I want the players to know about our performances. And that's why it's maybe a bit easier to stay level-headed because I don't know exactly what they're saying, that they are criticizing me. I'm not stupid. I expect them to do so. Because otherwise the world would have changed in the last 2, 3 or 4 weeks, and I don't think it has. If managers don't perform, they get criticized a lot, and I'm no exception to that.
Well, it was interesting, Tim, there that he was speaking or asked about dropping Mo Salah on Sunday and then mentioned 3 players in his answer: Salah, Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz. To you, can all 3 of those work in the same 11?
You'd like to hope so. I think the club has spent so much money to have all of them working together, but ultimately at the moment they haven't found a way, and they had such a amazing season last season. Everything went for them, and this is the first year where you can see things are going against them. They're not really, when they go 1-0 down, they're not turning it around. Clearly over the summer, big changes with Trent leaving. Jota is obviously still massively missed because he was one of those players who was able to turn games around last year. But yeah, going back to your question, I think on paper it's one of those football managers teams at the moment. The squad is unbelievable. You know, as a fan, you're excited to have these players available, but results matter, and they haven't been able to do that. So,
but that's the point, isn't it? That you said there, it's like almost like a football manager squad. That history probably tells you that there aren't loads of teams that have been successful where it is just sling a load of all-stars in and it'll be brilliant. And actually, in any good team, you need facilitators. And the Liverpool team that had so much success under Jurgen Klopp was good because of the stars, but it was also good because of people like Jordan Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum who played their roles.
Good point. And I think Szoboszlai, obviously last year, making up so much ground, doing the dirty work for Salah. I think they're finding a balance. Ideally, he wants to play all the superstars, but like you just said there, you can't. And I think people like Robinson on left back, Kirkus has found it difficult. Alisson, injuries, I think he was a big miss because you need your core of leaders. And that's why I think the team has struggled this year. When you look from the outside, there's a lot going on, a lot of pressures going on at the moment. And I do like Slot's interview. He accepts it, but he also knows that the results have to come good again. And obviously, solid away win at West Ham in the weekend is a start, but he needs to follow it up.
It was interesting that Curtis Jones came out last week after the PSV game and spoke about hammering into people and spoke about running more. John Aldridge, the former Liverpool striker, talks in his newspaper column up there today about Salah when he's not scoring, or at the moment he feels it's like Liverpool have been playing with 10 a little bit, and if you haven't got the goals coming from Salah, there isn't too much else coming from Salah, and that is the balance that Arne Slot must be struggling with, that he knows what he's capable of, but it's not there right now.
Yeah, it's hard to criticise Salah.
Yeah.
The numbers he's done for the club, and he's a legend of the game. But ultimately, if players go through periods where they're not performing, this is where the manager then has to think about the greater good of the team, and I think that's what he's done this weekend. He takes Salah out of the firing line at the moment. He will be a massive part for Liverpool this season, we all know that, but he's going away with the African Nations Cup in a week or 2 weeks or so.
In a weird way, could that help them in the sense that selection-wise, as Arne Slot just touched on there, that if he drops Salah or doesn't play Salah tomorrow, he'll get the same questions and so on and so forth every time he doesn't play him, whereas for a month he can't. So therefore it's an easy discussion to not have to be involved in.
Yeah, if you asked the same question last year, I don't think anybody would have wanted Salah to go to the AFCON. But now I think as a manager, yeah, he needs to find a formula without Salah, and he will. He's got an amazing squad available to do that with, and I do think Slot will be looking at the next 6 weeks, because it's 20% of the total Premier League games are being played in the next 6 weeks. So it's a massive miss, Salah not being there. So he needs to come up with a, like I said, a formula to get the train back going, because it's been a bad start for Liverpool.
You know full well tomorrow about 10 o'clock we'll be both feeling stupid because he'll have scored a hat-trick against Sunderland, don't you?